Like, anyone just, thank you. Could anyone just unmute themselves and mention like what they think a digital ecosystem is? Okay, so I'm just going to randomly pick someone. Daniel, if you can tell us, what do you think a digital ecosystem is?
Yeah, okay. Okay, for me, I think digital ecosystem mean we create the system who are interconnected together in the digital platform. It's like the social media to our website and to our own pet and earned media channel. Yeah, I
All
think that.
right. Daniel, you got it perfectly right. You even used the example I was going to use. So, yeah, bonus points, bro. Okay. So, a digital ecosystem is made up of two words. The first one is digital, which basically means anything to do with online. And the second one is ecosystem, which basically means interconnected functions. So, when the words are combined, digital ecosystem means the network of interconnected platforms that are dependent on each other and function as one unit. But why should you care about it? So, what the digital ecosystem does, it provides a simple and efficient customer experience. It identifies the role of each of the channels in the digital customer flow. And once you understand the role of each channel, you are able to create better messaging according to them. And once you align the messaging and provide a seamless customer experience, your conversion rates automatically increase. Like a simple example of this is just as like Daniel mentioned, for example, if someone just comes on our Instagram page, then clicks the link in bio, then they end up going to our website, and from our website then they can just register if they'd like to. So what exactly makes up a digital ecosystem? So I'm going to ask one more person to share, unless no one steps up. Anyone? Okay. Shamit, if you could tell us what makes up a digital ecosystem.
I guess all our social media platforms, whether they're Instagram, Facebook, etc., are disconnected to our website, and that has a CTA.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much, Shamit. So now I'm going to talk a bit in like technical terms. So the first thing that a digital ecosystem is made up of is a marketing strategy. So once you have the output of this, you can see like whatever links are attached. So that way it becomes easier. So a marketing strategy is an accumulation of activities, whether online or offline, that help the business move towards a short-term or long-term strategic sales goal. It includes a thorough analysis of like the market dynamics currently, like who exactly your competition is, what exactly is the pricing, and the basic part of a marketing strategy is that it creates an overall plan in order for you to achieve your sales goal. Then you have a content strategy. A content strategy is the process of translating a business plan and goals into a plan that uses content as a primary means of achieving those goals. For example, if you want to get 5 people to go on an exchange, you translate that into probably sharing experiences of exchange participants or talking about the benefits of global talent. Um, so you translate whatever your end goal is into content that could be utilized to motivate people to go for an exchange. Then we have data analysis. As you know, we can keep posting 7 times in a day, 7 times in a day, 7 times in a week, but if it's not working, like if you don't use data, you'll never know what's working or not. Like even Instagram insights tell us like what would be the best time to post when most of our people are active. But this is something that you need to constantly review and find out for yourself as well, whether the plan that you've actually implemented is actually working or not. So like another tip I would give is there's a website called Databox. You can connect Databox to your social media channels, and it automatically starts collecting information from the date you've collected it. So you don't really need to track your content as well. Like, it will tell you things about each individual post. All right. So the next part that we have a marketing funnel. I think all of y'all are quite familiar with it. So the first thing is attract. You need to get people to question what exactly is it. The next thing is nurture. Once they have come on your platform to learn what it is, your job is to make them like it. And once they like the product that you're selling, it's easier to convert them as well, for them to say, hey, I want this product. And the last step is advocate. After they've used the product, they should be able to recommend other people to go and try this particular product. So the link that's mentioned over here is actually something that your predecessors have worked on, and they've created their own marketing funnel. So once the output is shared, if you all can come back to the slide and click on the link, you can see what the marketing funnel your predecessor actually made. Cool. The last thing is platforms. So platforms are divided into three segments. The first one is owned, which are channels you can control, such as social media, your website. Then you have earned channels, when customers become the channel, like your community groups, articles in the paper. And the last thing is paid channels, channels you pay to leverage, such as Facebook, Google Ads, or even paid media. All right. So you can see, like, this is how everything comes together. So marketing strategy comes at the core, then you have content strategy, and then you have data analysis. After data analysis, you revise and review these strategies according to their performance. Then comes the customer flow, where you have attract, nurture, convert, and advocate. Your earned, owned, and paid media channels work according to this marketing funnel. Your messaging that you give out on any of these channels, you give out in accordance to the stage of the funnel they are in. Like, for example, on social media, I might have attracting content from, let's say, January, February, March. After I feel I've attracted enough people, I can shift to nurturing content for the month of April. Because April could also be like the approval peak of like most of the entities as well. So that's why you can start with nurturing content over there. So this is our job as MCVP marketing, is how all of this comes together and how it can be improved. But what you need to keep in mind is it's a lot to do. Like, imagine how many social media pages that you need to handle. The question comes, do you want to be the person who is creating the content calendar of each of your social media channels, who's creating the content for each of your social media channels and posting it? If you get stuck into the cycle of creating content and handling your social media pages directly, you'll never have time for the big picture. So I would suggest like not getting stuck up in these nitty gritty details, and understand what kind of resources, monetary, HR, or knowledge that you need to carry out your role as MCVP marketing. So now what we are going to do is we are going to figure out what kind of manpower and resources do you need to actually manage the entire digital ecosystem. So what we'll have now is a 12-minute activity. And what you need to do is you need to go to this particular link. You need to mention what digital channels are you present on, or which ones do you want to explore during your term. What activities do you do on these particular channels, and what resources do you need for this channel? Like over here, you can see that if you've mentioned blog as an activity on a particular channel, you'll need someone to write a blog, and you'll need like an SEO specialist to ensure that it comes up on Google. Or if you want to run an Instagram page, you might need a social media manager and 3 content creators. So the resources actually depend on how you would like to go about it. So for this activity, all right, I've set up like an example here as well. So if you can see, I've put 1 social media manager for Instagram, 3 content creators, and again, I've put 2 content creators for LinkedIn. At this point, do not try to think about your entire manpower together. Just think how much manpower you need individually for each of those channels, so that once you start releasing your EST applications or NST applications, at that point of time, you can start deciding how you want to merge them. For example, you can just decide to have a team of 3 content creators who create content for Instagram and LinkedIn. Like, that's later on. But for right now, just think about how much manpower you need specifically for this particular channel. Cool. Is everyone clear? Like, does anyone have any questions or anything? If no, can you just give me like a thumbs up or like a wave in the chat? Perfect. All right, cool. So in a way to also to get you all to interact as well, and like talk to each other, because I think like the other get to know space was quite small. We'll be putting you all in like breakout rooms again, so as to help you all get like to work together. If you all have any questions, just request for help. Um, yeah, Tivanka, if you can put them in groups of 3 again. Okay, guys, y'all can move on to the sheet here. So just make a copy for your entity, and y'all can at least start working on it right now until Tivanka puts y'all in the breakout space. All right, y'all can start joining. All right, so I saw that a lot of you were not able to complete the activity. Is it because y'all needed more time? Is it because y'all didn't understand the activity, or like what happened? Anyone can just open their mic and share or put it in the chat.
Okay, so I'll go. So for me and I had a person from India, Pratham and Jai. We were
You're
on
lagging
short of
quite.
time, but it was really helpful to know how different entities are looking forward to and how their structures are. For me, I'm planning to have like for different.
Hello. Wait. Okay. All right. Okay. So you'll thank you for sharing, Mithra. We'll slightly like move ahead as well. So this was my EST structure. So in the previous year, my predecessor, she just had 2 EST members who were helping her out. So what was exactly happening is that she was responsible for managing the social media channels and even posting content. So she never really got a chance to work on the big picture or to work on any back-end processes or actually plan marketing strategies better. So the way that I thought about going about this was I had one social media manager for each of my social media platforms, and I had a website developer and a PR manager as well. And the reason that Instagram and LinkedIn have 3 content creators each is because those were my focus channels. So regardless of Facebook or YouTube posting or not, I wanted to ensure that at least Instagram and LinkedIn posts were going out in a consistent frequency. So your EST structure actually depends on what goals do you have. If you have a goal to develop your website, it's better to have like a website developer on your EST. If your goal is to increase, is to have like a podcast, you can definitely get like a PR manager to also handle your podcast. If your goal is to focus on your Facebook or Instagram channels, it's better to allocate content creators for them. So once you get into planning, you'll have a better idea of what exactly do you want to achieve during your term, and you create your structure and whatever resources that you want, like such as like finance or in terms of synergy, then that's how you start working backwards. All right. So the next part we are going to talk about is, in the previous part we spoke about what exactly is a digital ecosystem, but a digital ecosystem only shines when everything is in sync, when we know where the customer is coming from and what where exactly do we want to take them. So if anyone would like to share what a digital customer pathway means. Okay, I'm gonna randomly pick again. um Neil, if you could share from Philippines.
I think it's like the direction where a particular customer takes, from seeing the product to learning about it, and like being able to reach and possibly attending it or like purchasing it or something like that.
All right, yeah, that's perfect. So that's what I was going to say as well. So as you can see, a customer pathway means a step that the customer takes in order to buy your service, and when combined with digital, basically means what steps does the customer take online in order to make a purchase. So again, why should you exactly give a shit about it? So throughout the customer pathway, a customer has like multiple touch points with the company, and each interaction with the customer at each of these stages plays a vital role. Like for example, if one of like the OGX peeps gets like a call from an EP and the OGX person abuses the EP, obviously the EP is not going to go for an exchange. So each interaction that you have with your with the exchange participant or with like a particular open matters a lot as well. So what we see right now is there are like a lot of substitutes as well. Like if someone doesn't go with ISEC in Europe, there's another exchange-based organization known as Eramis. So they can easily just go with another organization. The reason that people are actually choosing to go with ISEC, one of the main reasons could be the customer experience as well. So that's how companies right now are differentiating themselves from other organizations. So what we're going to do next is we have another activity. Like it's not going to be for 25 minutes. It's going to be for like 15 minutes only, since we are tightly strapped for time. So what's going to happen is you're going to make a copy of this particular board. So this Pratham will be quite familiar with this board because this is the customer pathway for ISEC in India. And what you need to do is you need to make a duplicate of this particular customer journey. So once you make a duplicate, what you need to do is you need to customize it according to your entity. So if you're making any changes to this particular customer journey, just do it with like a different color, so as to understand like this was the original and this is what you changed it to. So I'll just quickly take you all through it as well. So if you all can see, the entire customer journey is divided uh, according to a customer flow. Like you have pre-attraction, then you have attraction, then consideration, preparation, experience, and post experience. And after post experience, the person comes back to the attraction stage of the customer flow. Other than that, you can see like the sources that is mentioned in attraction, like where exactly do they come from. Like there's digital, PR, events, and university. So as I mentioned, what you need to do is make a copy. The way you can make a copy is you click on the three dots over here and you have an option that says copy to. So before you actually copy, you might need to log in into Whimsical. Yeah, so I think that's mainly it. So once you make a copy, you start editing it with like a different color according to your entity's reality. Okay, is everyone clear? Does anyone have any questions? If y'all can let me know in the chat or just show me like a thumbs up sign. Guys. All right, cool. Tivanka, if you can again put them in breakout spaces of 3 people, and we'll be placing you in breakout spaces for the next 15 minutes once again. All right, cool. So now that everyone's back over here, can we have like one more sharing? Would anyone like to go? Okay, so I'm just gonna randomly pick. Minnie, if you could share, like I know I was shifted like during your breakout room. I would love to hear more.
Uh, yeah, I think the whole flow for me is something that I would take some time to go through again because different sources, how they are going through the progress is a bit long. So yeah, but I do see some differences between the example and my entity one. Yeah, especially on the part of digital and university. Yeah, so, but I will need some more time, yeah, to complete the flow.
All right, no worries, people. So thank you so much, Isaac in India, for making this. So now we're just gonna move on to like the next part as well, which is a very good example of handling the customer flow is actually Starbucks. And the reason I say this is because like the quality is same no matter which Starbucks that you go to. Um, you get like the same coffee, it kind of tastes the same as well, so they're consistent in each of their interactions with the customer. The other thing is that the ambience and also like the way that the employees engage with the customer as well is really great too, and it gives you like a feeling of like coming here. So they kind of revolutionized it by making coffee shops a place where you can actually come and work. Other thing is they have incentive discounts and offers and limited time flavors. So they do it across a timeline also. So all of it is not coupled together. They have a year plan, they have their own marketing plan, and they integrate offers and limited time period flavors in their marketing timeline. And they, so that's how they're able to utilize it as well. Just for us, if we go to like a Starbucks shop, like at least personally for me, it's like I just grab someone else and I take them as well. And if I want to try something new, and it kind of makes me go there to try something new, but my friend definitely picks up something that he's already had before. The other thing is, if you've noticed, whenever they give you free Wi-Fi, they ask you for your email ID. And once they get your email ID, they also start sending you follow-up emails with their discounts, offers, and codes as well. They have the Starbucks card too. Then the next thing is a pre-order service. So if you order from like the Starbucks app, what happens is by the time you reach there, you can order on your way. and once you reach Starbucks, all you need to do is pay the person and just pick up your coffee. So it avoids the agony for you to wait in line and wait for the coffee to be made. And the last thing is spelling your name wrong. Like, how many times have you seen pictures of like people putting up stories of their name spelled wrong on the Starbucks coffee? Like that, it's like, although I kind of feel like that is kind of intentional, because it's pretty good marketing as well, because you see these cups go up like quite often. And yeah, lastly, I would just like to end with when a customer talks about their experience with you, it is worth 10 times more than what you actually say yourself. Because like the main source of sales is actually word of mouth and referrals. And if your customers are not talking about you, that means your product is just terrible. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to leave you with that. And I think the next session is in the plenary directly. Devanka, like if you can just tell us where to go for the next space.
Yes, I think it's the main session for the partner space for Mindwell. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you so much for like joining me today. If possible, if everyone can put their cameras on, we can quickly take like one picture.